U.S. flying gas station goes missing over Qatar. 7700 distress signal issue. Now, it's kind of funny how that happened. And the UAE was also, it took off from the UAE. I will get to that in this article. However, just yesterday, didn't the United States and Israel have, not Israel, the United States and Iran exchanged fire? Allegedly, Iran was striking our ships, or trying to strike our ships in the Strait of Hormuz. President Donald Trump said the ceasefire would remain even after that incident. The UAE was also targeted by the Iranians, which the UAE is saying they're going to retaliate. So could we see the United States and Israel join in on this retaliatory strike on Iran whenever the UAE do it? But we do know President Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, warned that it will be destructive consequences if the U.S. and Israel resume the war with Iran. So the article reads, a Boeing KC-135 straddle tanker transmitted a 7700 distress signal over the Persian Gulf, but CENTCOM has not confirmed any crash or emergency. So, and it reads, a Boeing KC-135 straddle tanker serving as an airborne refueling station for U.S. military aircraft transmitted a 7700 distress signal indicating an in-flight emergency while traversing the Persian Gulf near Iran amidst rising tension in the Middle East, as per Flight Radar 24 data. Tasman News Agency said. Now, this is the refueling plane. I guess this is when it took off from the UAE, which again was also attacked yesterday by the Iranians. However, CENTCOM or Pentagon has not given a statement on confirmation of any KC-135 crash, loss, or emergency over Qatar or in the Strait of Hormuz today. Moreover, radar drops and 7700 squawks are common. There are heavy GPS electronic jamming and regional tensions doesn't mean a crash. Boeing KC-135 stratotanker departs from Al Darfa Air Base. The American aircraft departed from Al Darfa Air Base in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, before its signals were lost over Qatar. So, and then it also reads, the aircraft was reportedly engaged in operations over the Middle East to support ongoing military efforts. Flight tracking data states that the plane flew in a circular pattern for a period of time, commencing its descent for landing. The precise cause of the emergency remains unknown, and there has been no official confirmation linking the incident to any hostile actions. Iran's semi-official Fars news agency reported on the aircraft's disappearance, referencing data from Flight Radar 24. No statements have been issued by Iran suggesting its involvement in the emergency of the U.S. military aircraft. And allegedly, this is a post coming, I guess, from X, from the Hormuz letter, breaking a U.S. Air Force KC-135 tanker has disappeared from the flight radar from radar over the Strait of Hormuz and squawking 7700 general emergency. Two H-125 helicopters are now lifting off from Al Udd Air Base in Qatar. So again, it was just kind of interesting how this happened today. Actually, this was posted at 2:59 a.m. So this happened in the wee hours in the morning, May 5th, early this morning. So again, it's just kind of interesting how that happened this morning, I guess our time. So it was probably getting into that evening time for them. Earlier that day, there was the previous day there was attacks or fire exchange between the United States and Iran. So I mean, I'm pretty sure Iran is just trying to get the United States get under our skin. Now they probably could have jammed something which made it go off. But again, over the UAE, which was just attacked yesterday by the Iranians, we know that our president is probably trying to bait Iran into striking our ships so we can go back to war with Iran. But regardless, I mean, that's the big plane right there. So imagine if it went down. We already lost the radar plane shortly before the ceasefire went on in the Middle East. It was an AWACS plane. It had a big radar on the back, and it was targeted by the Iranians in one of their strikes. So, I mean, we know the Iranians is not going to forget about the fact that we attacked elementary school over there and said we didn't know nothing about it. But I guess they had enough proof to prove that it was the U.S. that attacked that school. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff going on now. How much longer the ceasefire is going to hold, I can't tell you. But I can tell you it's not going to hold up much longer, especially if the United States and Israel helps the UAE with the retaliatory strike on Iran. And Iran might retaliate again with them before you know it, the ceasefire is over. We also got to watch Israel and Lebanon with their ceasefire. I don't think it's really going too well because it was a big fuss about when the U.S. and Iran had a ceasefire. Israel was still bombing Lebanon and was saying they was not part of the ceasefire. Just a few days later, for them to be included in the ceasefire because technically they was part of the war because they started attacking Israel as well once the U.S. and Israel started the war with Iran. So regardless, it's just a lot of stuff going on. We see gas prices are in some areas gas is already $6 a gallon depending on what state you're in, and so that's most likely going to get even higher if this war resumes because, I mean, come on, the gas already been high for a good bit ever since the war started. Most states is probably over $4. If not all states is already over $4. Some states is already approaching $5 for regular alone. I'm not talking about diesel, and $6 a gallon, depending on where you live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time your boy upload a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Just going to keep an eye out on the situation that happened allegedly around just before 3 a.m. this morning with the U.S. Air Force KC-135 tanker, which was an aerial refueler that went went missing on a flight tracker over the Strait of Hormuz after departing from, let's see, I think it was the UAE. So that being said, it's your boy Arande out.